What's up, boys? In today's video, I'm rating every single 5/7 skin in CS2. Claude couldn't make it today, but we're planning on doing one of these tier lists for every weapon in the game, so leave a comment letting me know which weapon you'd like to see next. Let's get into the tier list.
Yo, what is up, boys? We're back with another tier list. Today we're doing the 5/7. As you heard in the intro, Claude couldn't make it today, so this is going to be a bit of a different one. These are going to be my raw, uncensored thoughts about each of these 5/7 skins, which will make for a different video. I don't know if you'll think it will be better or worse, but these will just be my opinions strictly. No meeting in the middle, just exactly what I think. So why not test it out? Let's see what we think about each of these 5/7 skins. First up, we're starting with the Angry Mob. This is a classic at this point in my mind. When I think of 5/7s, I've started to think about the Angry Mob. It's one of very few red 5/7 skins that I actually enjoy. Red rarity, I mean. It's super bright, has a bunch of different colors on it, which if you've watched some of these tier lists in the past, you know that I really like bright colors and a lot of them. So first things first, I'm probably gonna throw it in A. I don't think it deserves S. It is a really nice skin, don't get me wrong, but the artwork on it isn't the best. And there are definitely some others on this list that I think deserve quite a bit higher than it. So we'll start with that. We'll throw it in A. As always, these are subject to change. If I want to change them throughout, I will. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Today's video is sponsored by Rain.gg. If you're sick of opening regular CS2 cases and would rather have fun spending your money, Rain.gg is the site for you. Not only can you open a bunch of fun cases, but Rain also offers game modes like battles, doubles, and even an upgrader. But even better than the game modes, Rain offers a free daily, weekly, and monthly case. Also, if you sign up with my code, you get 3 more free cases and a 5% deposit bonus. So if you decide to play, make sure to claim those free cases with my link in the description or use code Trebon. Please remember, loot box sites can be highly addictive, so make sure you only play if you're over the age of 18 and only spend money you can afford to lose. Seriously, let's get back to the video.
Next up is the Anodized Gunmetal. This is a super simple skin, but you usually can't go wrong with that, and this is definitely one of those cases. It just has an all silver slide with the normal default colored handle, which I think looks pretty good. It's just two-toned, light and dark. I might also throw this in low A, but I don't know. It's so simple. I don't think it deserves to go that high, even though it does look that good. I think I'm gonna throw it in B for now. I think B's safe. Next up is another bright one that I really like, the Berries and Cherries. This thing's super cool because it's pattern based, so you can get a pattern that's max red, which allows most of the slide to be red starting from left to right, so it will get very red. And then the other end of the spectrum is an all blue one, which some people substitute for an all blue case hardened. So it does kind of look like a blue gem. I have gotten one of those in the past. At one point, I also had a max red Berries and Cherries with a Cato 15 hollow. I forget which one it was, but it was one of the red ones covering the blue. So it just looked all red. It was kind of insane. I don't know why I'm blanking on which sticker it was, but that was one of my favorite 5/7s at the time. I think I'm gonna throw this in A. I actually like the Berries and Cherries probably more than the Angry Mob, and this is already starting to feel a little weird because I don't know, the Angry Mob is nice, don't get me wrong, it just gets old very quickly, whereas the Berries and Cherries is super simple and can look good in almost any scenario. I'm starting to feel like these two should be moved to high B, but we'll see. I'll keep it there for now. I'm gonna leave it like that. Next up is the Boost Protocol, another simple skin. It does have some other colors on it, but it's mainly black and white with a little bit of pink and orange throughout. It's not my favorite. It looks like kind of like a poor man's Asimov, sort of like they were trying to make that type of effect, but you could never pull it off as good as the Asimov. I will probably put this guy, I don't know. I mean, I think most people will think it's better than the Anodized Gunmetal, but I think it might actually look worse. I might rather just chill with the all silver Anodized Gunmetal. So I'll do that for now. Low B. This is feeling like a crazy tier list already, and we're only 4 skins in. What are you guys thinking already? We're not even a 10th of the way through these skins. literally, and it's already kind of insane. So let me know in the comments what you think about these 4 already. All right, next up we got the Buddy, a pretty cool skin in my opinion. I would say the one downside to it is the colorway. It's like the classic counter-terrorist colors, being the dark blue, like the faded dark blue with like yellow through it and bits of black. I do like the slide a bit. It's like a cool brown and beige combo. But of course, the colors aren't the best. The best part of the skin is the little face that looks directly back at you on the back of the slide. Super cool. By where the hammer would be. I also had this for a while when I came back to CSGO most recently, probably 2.5, 3 years ago now. This was the first 5.7 that I picked up. So I don't know. I think it probably goes here in terms of looks, in my opinion. All right, next up, another two-tone combo, a classic, the Candy Apple, 5.7 Candy Apple. If I'm not mistaken, this guy might actually be pretty expensive. I know some of the Candy Apples are expensive. I'm forgetting if it's the 5.7 or not. I think it might be. And if it is, I can't justify that price. I think it's like a $70 skin. I could be absolutely talking out of my buns right now, but I'm gonna just throw it and see. Not only is it expensive, I'm pretty sure, but it also doesn't necessarily look the best. I would much rather have the silver on black than the red on black. But if this is your style, if you like the color red a lot, I'm sure you would have it up here in the low A's, high B's. But for me, I think it goes into C. Next up is the Capillary. In theory, this skin should be good. It has pretty cool colors on it. I am a fan of pastel colors like pinks and light blues, which this does have, but the base color of that dark blue kind of ruins it for me. And I'm not a big fan of like the vein artwork going through it that much. I think it might go below the Candy Apple in my opinion. Crazy, I know. All right, next up is the Case Hardened, an absolute classic. Although the blue gems do exist, which are pretty sick, and the gold gems too, for those of you who like those, we have to rank it on all 1000 patterns. And unlike the berries and cherries, which looks good in pretty much any pattern you get it in, since it's just a different gradient of red and blue, a different percentage of each, this one kind of just gets ugly when it's like splotchy, in my opinion, which I think about all case hardened skins for that matter, as I'm sure you've seen in my other tier lists. So I personally would probably put this right here, just above the Candy Apple. I don't know. I don't know. That's actually really tough. That's tough. Okay, I think, never mind. I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna put it in pretty low B. I think I would pick it up over the boost protocol, but I do think the Buddy is a little bit better. I don't even know if I would pick it up over the boost protocol. In terms of just strictly looks, I think I would take the boost protocol over it, but when you're factoring in pricing and prestige, I think it's gonna go here. So I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Next up, we have the Contractor. I mean, I don't think much really even needs to be said about this skin. It's just pretty bad, dude. It's just pretty bad. I'm throwing it straight in F. That's our first F of the video. Boo. All right, next up, we have the Coolant. Very similar to the Contractor, except this time it has more of a bright green turquoisey color on it, on the slide and the under part. But I still don't think that makes it deserving of anything up here. I think it would go bottom of C at best for me. Maybe D, we'll see, but we'll throw it there for now. Next up is the Copper Galaxy. In CSGO, I probably would have put this skin in C, maybe low B. It is another one of those two-toned ones, very similar to the Anodized Gunmetal in this case, since it's metallic. But now in CS2, they did make it look a lot better, quite a bit more shiny. I think I would probably put it, I don't know, I still think I like the silver color of the Anodized Gunmetal more, but it's not as shiny as the Copper Galaxy. So I think I'll put the Copper Galaxy just above, but just know that I like the silver a lot more. I think they just did a better job and tried a bit harder with the actual layout of the Copper Galaxy. Next up is the Crimson Blossom. This might be an unpopular opinion of mine, but I think this thing is so beautiful, so good looking. I'm not quite sure it reaches S for me, but it definitely looks better than the Angry Mob and the Berries and Cherries in my opinion. So it's going high up into the A's for me, and it might sit there for the remainder of the video. Next up, we have the Fairy Tale. Brother, do I even need to say anything about this? The artwork is beautiful. You guys know I love my pinks, purples, bright colors. I love the little fairy princess with the unicorn on there. It looks so good when you're holding it with a base color of white as well. You cannot go wrong. Base color of white, pinks and purples on top. Like, that's literally my dream skin right there. Super similar stylistically as the Temucow in my opinion. Trust me, I know that the Temucow is more anime-y, but color-wise, feel-wise, look of the skin-wise, it's the same vibe. I'm tossing it an S. That might be my favorite 5/7 skin in the game. We're gonna have to wait and see. Next up is the Fall Hazard. This is another banger. This time around, the base color of the skin is that silvery color, which you can't even really see because of all of the bright colors on top of it. It's got blues, yellows, oranges, some reds in there, and greens all across it. I love the A1S version of this skin, but the 5/7 is amazing too. I think I'm gonna put it, I don't know if it should be top of A or just below the Fairy Tale, but I think I'm gonna put it there in S. I think it is deserving of S. We're gonna toss it in S. Next up is the Flame Test. Very similar to the Copper Galaxy. That purple color on the skin ended up looking way better in CS2. It's a lot shinier. There are still grainy, it is still a bit grainy. There are still grains showing on it like the Copper Galaxy, but the flames on it ruin it. I would say if this was solid purple, it would probably go here above the Copper Galaxy for me, or just below, maybe even above the Angry Mob. I would have to wait and see what that looked like to even properly rank it, but the flame, not it, bro. The flame is not it, chief. I think I would have to probably put it, I don't know, I think it even goes below. This might be a D tier skin. I think this is a D tier skin. Pretty trash, not gonna lie. And similarly, following suit, we have the Forest Knight. This thing is just straight up bad. I don't think there's much that needs to even be said about it. Not a good skin. I don't know if I would toss it in F quite, but it is going below that Flame Test. Next up is the Foul Play. This is an OG skin. It's from Breakout, from the Breakout case, if I'm not mistaken. That being said, it doesn't look that good. It's strictly nostalgia based for me. Any good feelings I have about it. It is one of few 5/7 skins with that turquoise color. It does have some black and white splotches on it, which I think is pretty nice, but I don't know how good it is. I think I might toss it here above the Case Hardened, and I'm not even that big of a fan of it. I really don't even like the Case Hardened or the Boost Protocol that much, but yeah, like I said very early in the video, I think these might even be deserving of high C. High C, get it? Sorry. But yeah, I think these two will be worse for the worse than the Foul Play in my opinion. Next up, we got the Hot Shot. I mean, it's a neon green skin, but it's super similar stylistically to the Contractor, which I really don't like. I just think it doesn't look the best, but that neon green is a very redeeming quality of it. I think it will probably have to go top of C for me. Yeah, just above the Candy Apple. That's a good spot for it. Next up, we have the Hybrid, one of the newer skins, one of the newer 5/7 skins. I think this was from the Kilowatt case, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know though, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. That being said, I think it is a better looking version of the Flame Test. I do think the purples on the Flame Test look better, but the claw marks do look better than the flames. The flames look very tacky, and I'm not gonna lie, the claws also look tacky, but you can't get tackier than a flame stencil. So I think the Hybrid's probably gonna have to go into, I don't know, that's tough. I think right there is probably a good rating for it. I don't even know. I don't even think it deserves that high. That's tough. That's really tough. Nah, screw it. I'll put it there just because I really like the color purple, but I don't like the skin. Don't get me wrong. I really don't like the skin. All right, next up is the Hyper Beast. Come on. Hyper Beasts of any kind. Mwah. Perfect. Chef's kiss. Amazing skin through and through. I love the colors. And More importantly, I love the design of the monster, like the super bright colored monster with the tongue, the teeth. It looks really good. It's been goated since back in the day, and it still is. It holds true. I think for me, it's so expensive. I don't know. I really like that Crimson Blossom. All right, I think I'm gonna have to put it, I don't know if it's deserving of S, but it's on that tier. It's on that level of skin with the Fairy Tale and the Fall Hazard. Maybe not the Fairy Tale, but definitely the Fall Hazard. Super similar. I don't know. Something in me just tells me to put it in top of A. All right. Next up is the Jungle. Again, very similar to the Contractor and the Hotshot stylistically and schematically, but I do think this is definitely better than the Contractor since it's that bright green color. Not even close to as good as the Hotshot though, in my personal opinion. I would probably have to put this here. I don't know. I do think I would rather have this, rock this like simple green skin over the Hybrid or the Capillary or the Coolant. I don't know. I feel weird about this because I do think the Coolant might actually, you know what? I'm going to switch the Coolant spot. I don't like the Capillary. I don't like the Hybrid. I think the Coolant might go here, and I think this is going to go here. I like those switches a lot, actually. I rarely switch things. Coolant is a bit better than both the Cap. I don't know. These are all pretty trash, but like, it's hard to rank them, man. It's really not easy. Next up, we got the Kami. If you know CS, you know about the special pattern Kami. I'll show it right now. Yeah, so if we're ranking it just on the special pattern Kami, memery wise, just the fact that it's so funny and memey, I think it would probably deserve, I don't know, upper echelon of skins. It's black and white and simple and cartoony, which I really like. It has that comic book vibe, so it already deserves high praise anyway, but with the pussy pattern on the back, I think it would be an S tier. That being said, we have to rank it based on every pattern. There are a lot of other cool patterns too, don't get me wrong. So this skin is still going super high up, but 909 alone would probably go in S. All patterns in consideration though, I think I would still put it up here. I don't know if it's better than the berries and I'm gonna say it's not. That's so hard. I'm gonna say it's not better than the berries and cherries, but it's definitely better than the Angry Mob. I really love that black and white simple colorway, and it has a lot of sick patterns. You can have a lot of different things looking back at you near where the hammer would be. And yeah, I don't know. I might even pick it up over a berries and cherries because it's cheap. You know what? I'm putting it there. It's going above the berries and cherries. Final decision. Amazing skin. Definitely A tier. Next up, we have the Monkey Business, another absolute classic. Yeah, this is another skin similar to the Fowl play that's been around for a long time, and like one of the first 5.7s I ever used, 5.7 skins I ever used. I mean, it's also pretty funny, bro. It's just a banana across the entirety of the skin. Like that's just comedy. It's on a nice dark blue base, so it is pretty counter-terrorist color wave vibes-y. That was not a real English sentence, but I got it out. I spit it out. I think it's pretty good. I think it probably goes here for me. I don't necessarily think it's better than these A tier skins, but it's definitely better than all of these metallic ones that I've already put decently high up. Next up, Neon Kimono. Such a good skin, pattern-based, bright green. It is like a lot of these other skins stylistically, like the Contractor, Hotshot, Jungle, Coolant, but this one's way better because of the patterns on the slide and the bright neon green color. I would say color wise, it is most similar to the Hotshot, but it's definitely better, and it's also most certainly better than all of these skins. I think I would personally put it, I don't know. I don't like the positioning of that Angry Mob anymore because I think the Monkey Business might be better than the Angry Mob. That being said, I'm gonna put the Neon Kimono right there. I think that's a good spot for it. Next up, we have the Nightshade. This one's pretty cool, actually. It has the flowers across the slide and other parts of the skin, but color-wise, it's super faded. The colors aren't bright or vibrant whatsoever. I think that ruins it a little. I do love the flowers, though. I think they look very, very good. With that being said, I think it probably... I think it might deserve the spot right here. in between the candy apple and the coolant. I think that's a good spot for it. The red's more vibrant on the candy apple, but the artwork here is pretty great, so I think it goes above all of these shitters. Next up, we have the Nitro. Two-tone skin. I like the fact that it's orange and black. Super dope. Bright orange is sick. Dark black looks really good. Dark black, what am I saying? Black is black. I'm tripping. Okay. I think this probably deserves also this position. I do think the Nightshade looks better because of the flowers, although the orange and black color-wise is probably better. But I do think the artwork here outweighs the colors of that, whereas I think the colors of the candy apple and the prestige of it, or the way that people think of it, does outweigh the artwork of the flowers on the Nightshade. So that's where I'm going to leave that for now. Orange peel, trash. Absolute trash. I mean, it is orange. I don't know. I think I'm feeling bottom of F. Like literally, I mean, I know this one should technically be worse, but I would not ever want to pick up the orange peel, ever. Literally ever. The only thing I would ever use it for is a trade up. Next up is the Retrobution. Very similar in my mind for some reason as the Boost Protocol, but I do think the colors on the Boost Protocol are a bit nicer, like the bright white and the dark black, whereas the Retrobution has some like pinky, almost skin colory beige on it, which I don't really love. I do think it is pretty nice though. I would probably put it bottom of B or absolute top of C. Absolute top of C feels good. All right, next up is the Scrawl. I don't like any horror style artwork ever, really, unless it's pulled off in a very nice way. And I think this is very low effort and just doesn't look good. Thrown together, slapped on, like someone doodled it, and I don't like the colors either. I think it probably goes, I mean, I'm gonna throw it there. I think it's a trash skin. And the same goes for the Scumbria, which we have up next. It kind of looks like a silvery, almost blue zebra when you're holding it in game. But yeah, it's like a lizard slash zebra are the two things that I think of. I think it's meant to be sort of like a lizard, but yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't think it's good. I think it is better than the Scrawl, probably better than the Forest Knight, but I don't know if I would venture to say that it's better than the Flame Test. These are both pretty bad. I think it goes in D right there. Next up is the Silver Quartz, which I actually do surprisingly like quite a bit. I don't think it's amazing, don't get me wrong. It doesn't go into the B tier, but it is up here with these guys. Yeah, I don't know. I think right here feels good. I don't know. I might pick up the Nightshade over it just because I like the flowers, but color-wise and actual look-wise to most people, I think that the Silver Quartz looks better with those silver lines going through the black. I think it's also probably better than the Candy Apple, depending on who you are, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Here feels right. It could also go in any of these positions, but yeah, I don't know. I'll just put it in between. Since I can't decide, I'm putting it in between the two. Next up is the Triumvirate, I think is how you pronounce it. Super similar to the Retrobution. I don't know why. I just feel like they're very similar, but the colors are different. This one has some yellows and lighter blues, which I do like about it. I think for me, it probably goes right here at the bottom of C. Slightly better than the Retrobution. I don't know, that's tough. Retrobution might be better because it's brighter, like the whites on it are brighter. That's really tough. I'm gonna put it here, just below the Retrobution. Next up, we have the Urban Hazard, which is very, very similar to the Candy Apple, except the handle is camouflage. And there are some lighter pink lines going through the red on the slide. I used to say that I liked the Urban Hazard more, but as I've aged, I think the simplicity of the Candy Apple is better and more appealing. I think that the Urban Hazard would probably have to go, I don't know, tough. It's really tough. I think probably here for me. Definitely a little bit better than the Coolant, but it's not great. I don't even know if I'd pick the Nitro up over it. I'd definitely pick the Nightshade up over it, that's for sure, but it's one of these two spots. You know what, I'll throw it here for now. I'm not the biggest fan of the Nitro. And on a very different note, we now have the Violent Daimyo. You guys know I absolutely love purple, and I also love the design of this skin. I think it looks freaking sick. Weirdly reminds me of the DD Pats a little bit. I think it's just because of like the splotchy patchiness artwork wise, but it definitely goes up here. It's in the upper echelon for me. The purple looks so good. I'm personally picking it up over the Neon Kimono 100%. It's a tough choice. I think I would still pick it up over the berries and cherries. I don't know about the Kami though. I think overall the Kami is a bit better. But I personally would rather rock the Violent Daimyo in my loadout, but overall I do think the Kami is a better skin. So I'm gonna leave Kami above, but just know that I would rather be using a Violent Daimyo. Again, and I will say I'm happy about this, there's another purple skin on the list, which I never see in game. It's the Withered Vine, and I think the reason we rarely see it is because the colors are super faded. Like, I don't know, I think they purposely made it not vibrant because it is a withered vine, so it's supposed to be a dying plant, which totally makes sense. But if it wasn't withering, this would be such a top tier skin. That said, it still is beautiful. I think it is better. I think it is better than the metallic skins that we have here though, so I'm gonna put it just below the monkey business. I think that's a good spot for it. Next up is the heat treated. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even fully formed my opinions on the heat treated skins yet. Like, I haven't totally decided if I like them more or less than the case hardened. I think the fact that the case hardened is super OG, it beats it out in that category, but I don't know if looks wise, I don't know what I think looks wise. I actually do like the blues a lot on the heat treateds, but it's tough. I'm gonna put it somewhere around here. I don't know, dude. I don't even know if I can do that. I think I'm putting it there. Sorry, I think I have to put it there. I'm definitely picking it up over the Urban Hazard, but the Nightshade is a beautiful skin. This is an interesting cutoff right here in the middle of C. I think that's a good spot for it, which means I guess I did make my decision. I guess I do think the case hardened is better. Last but not least, we have the Midnight Paintover, the newest skin added to the game. I'm pretty sure it's in the Overpass collection. I usually love these graffiti skins, but not when they're done so poorly and without effort as this one. It kind of just looks like some sprays were smacked onto it, just slapped on and added to some decent looking colors. Again, they're not super vibrant. They're pretty washed out, which I don't love, but I do think it's decent. I think it would probably go, I don't even know. I don't think it goes that high for me. I think the Capillary might even be better. I think the Flame Test might be better. Ooh, this is tough. This is worse than I thought I was gonna put it. It goes above the Scrawl for sure. I don't like this skin at all. Scrawl might even go in F for me, but I think it does go right above the Scrawl. And there it is. There's the completed list right there in all of its glory. Let me zoom in so you get one final better look. Bang, right there. What do you guys think? Leave some comments letting me know what I got wrong. I only have 2 S tier skins up there, which is kind of nuts. I feel like the Hyper Beast might deserve to go up here. That does look a little better. I'm not gonna lie, it is a really good skin. I don't know, top of A though. Whatever, we'll add it right there. We'll leave it right there. No. Just to piss some of you off, it's going. All right, that's the end of the video, boys. I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a comment. Let me know what skin you want to see next. What weapon you want to see next, I should say. I think I'm going to do the MP9, though. I'm really excited to do the MP9. It's a meta gun right now. It's a sick gun. Everyone uses it, and there are some great skins for it. So we're going to do that next, but what do you want to see after that? Let me know. What other videos do you want to see? Drop a comment. Thank you for tuning in. I love you guys. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.
If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you'll like this one too. Oh yeah, and YouTube told me 75% of you aren't subscribed yet. So go thumb wrestle that subscribe button down below.